Bruh.
Hey traders, we're live early because we have First Republic Bank at its all-time lows, down 50%. The S&P 500 as I've gone live we're in power hour, right?
It's time for power hour.
But we have we're like 51 minutes into power hour, so we have 9 minutes till the closing bell, where, normally, right, the last 30 minutes of trading, second highest amount of volume that comes in on the day. First 30 minutes of trading on the on the stock market, highest volume, right? So here we are in power hour, power minutes now. Let's go to the S&P 500 futures that getting wrecked. I mean, down 1.44%, but it's an index fund. So, but this is like the problem, man. This is like the concern we've been having, man. You're stalling out in the selling or on the buying, right? Now you're rivaling the previous high, you're not going anywhere. Bearish engulfing candle will be confirmed in 1 hour, 7 minutes. All right, this is the futures, so it closes an hour later and then it reopens after that. So let's just go to the S&P. Here it is. It gapped down and has been drawing down. You're working on the lowest daily candle close in the S&P 500 since March 30th. Okay. Dow Jones, where until you were going to take out the previous high, all you're doing, and this is what I'm talking about, right? This is why it's here. 3 falling peaks. It's very real and could classic distribution going on the Dow Jones Industrial. Falling below 33,729. A failed attempt to breach any sort of supply line. 886 retrace from the previous high to low. That's it, man. I mean, this is ugly, really ugly. I mean, that might have been the lowest risk area ever. Look, hidden bearish divergence on the third peak. It's a wombo combo, a bearish wombo combo. Oh, how about the NASDAQ? Oh, well, yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have a one high, no one knows, second high, everyone knows, inflection point, bearish divergence, negative momentum building. At the lows of the day, down almost 2%, $11,800. Just a lot of downside potential here. Hello. I mean, it's pretty much a right-angled and ascending broadening formation. Can you hear me? Is this stream on? Just make sure, dude, you connect. I mean, for me, as a streamer, you can't just go straight into it because something might be wrong. There might be a technical issue. We're okay. Everything's all right. Okay, cool. So we were going, just, you got it. All right, it's a live stream that is early, not scheduled, because price action will summon me sometimes. And this is warranted because this was it, man. You are not in a long-term uptrend. You're in a long-term downtrend. You were just in a short-term, mid-term uptrend, and it looks like that could be it. You know, I mean, maybe you come down and make a higher low again, but there's a lot of anything. I mean, the cutoff's 11.9. You don't want to be in the NASDAQ below 11.9 because just the potential downside is so high. All right. What about the Russell 2000? Russell 2000 getting wrecked, man, right now at session lows, down 2.42% is what we're talking about. Like this, you're just stagnant, complacent. I mean, all this time and just an effort and just no reward. Bad, man, real bad. You're about to be making your lowest daily candle close on the IWM since March 24th, since that piercing line. That if that's the piercing line performance, virtually, like, really what's happening, you can kind of see it on the daily, dude. Confirmation of distribution. 1 and 2, significantly less market participants involved with this index fund than before, than all these other times before. You get it? This will be, wow. Can you think about it like this? This will be like the lowest high of the entire long-term bear trend. The lowest high. Below the 200-day moving average, bear trend. Long-term bear trend, complacency, sideways. Yeah. Let's get the dumb money back and time to roll over. And look, you're cracking. This is going to happen today, not yesterday, today. 4 minutes until market participants close this index fund below the ICE line from August 2018. Your next stop is the pre-COVID crash high at 170. Below that is death, 160, and then 150, 145. Yeah, here you go, man. Look at, oh man, can't even stay neutral on the RSI. About to fall in. You are at the threshold of the bearish control zone on the daily RSI. Anything below 40 bearish control zone. You're about to fall back into it. Okay, stage is setting up for bad. Okay, so just looking at the index funds because the markets are open right now for 3 more minutes. Okay, so really, some of these banks, man. Here's SAN gapped. I don't know. This is Banco Santander, SA, South America, major banks, finance. Here's the bearish dragon of your dreams, right? Everything's there. Hidden bearish divergence on the slightly lower high, and the slightly lower high just happens to be a formal back test of a key inflection point of sorts from 2021. Anywhere else? No, that was it. Those levels right there. That level, it was resistance, is being regarded as resistance again. The lower high is the distribution. Man, this little demand line here breaks. Bye-bye. The dragon becomes valid. So right now you have a potential bearish dragon that is very close to becoming valid on the breakout. Okay, it would be really conservative here. Actually, try to make it perfect, you know. What about Key? We were looking at this one yesterday. Key that was getting destroyed and had made its lowest daily candle close since 2020. Now you've gapped down. You're down 6%, continuing down, and you'll eventually see 984. QQQ, lows of the day, $310. You want to talk about a right-angled and ascending broadening formation. Here it is, chat. Here it is, bearish divergence, failing to break above 316, one high, the slightly higher high, and drawing down. There it is, local on the 8s, because we are 2 minutes from the close. So you could look at this and understand tremendous downside potential. Yep, tremendous. First stop 297, the low from March 2021. Below that, there's nothing. Yeah, like, right, if the TA was respected, like, okay, of course, earnings and all that, and market's crazy, but if the TA is respected on the daily bearish divergence, then down next, not up. And even if it only makes a higher low, it's still down. All of it, Justin, all of it going down, man. Yep, shop. where, classic accumulation, but one could also look at that, perceive it as a rising wedge. Started doing that on the weekly. It's like, oh my God, it's there. Like you could actually do that. So let's keep going with these banks. Look at BBVA, talking about low risk for a short, where you have hidden bearish divergence, extremely well matured, the lower high, and then the lower high finishing and falling below an inflection point, an ice line. This is your strategy, right? I mean, this would be what helps you strategize your short. Just like if it was the other way around, where the asset is now formally breaking back above a key ice line with with hidden bullish divergence, if you flip that. So that's the, and then anything above maybe, so since you think this is the second top's been put in, all right, the stop would just be slightly somewhere above that. Minimal losses if it fails. If BBVA rallies here, like, okay, whatever, man. It's not going to be based on reality. It'll be based on Rudy Poo, and that's fine. Okay, I'll deal with that. But that's the level right now. So there could be a stupid amount of downside, like almost, maximum downside potential below that level. Look at UBS. It's another bank. You want to talk about low risk, chat. Okay, I'm getting passionate here. Look at this, man. Talking about an ice line going back to 2013, 14, 15, 18, 2022, and 2023, and locally double topping. Okay. Talking about going short and say, oh man, we're going short. Look, just flip the chart over, man. Are you kidding me? An asset that hits the bottom of an ice, hits an ice line, hits the bottom of a trading range, not once, but then twice, and shows bullish divergence on the second low locally. That's it. That's the lowest risk you could ever get for a long. I don't care who you are. Go talk to the people, the smart people that research this and put their life's work into it, because that's what I study. And this is it. And there's the creek, the inverse creek probably. But yeah, man, this is it. Anything above 2147 might invalidate. I would say anything above the high from March 3rd, which is 2240. Anything above that might invalidate. That might be where the stop loss should be. Definitely where it should be, right? Because, that's the whole point. You're going short because one will be going short because the whole failed breakout attempt for the second time locally with, again, an edge, bearish divergence, which is hidden bearish divergence because a very subtle lower high. And you want to talk about the bearish abandoned baby. Here's a bearish abandoned baby. Here are almost two of them. One on March 6th, and here's another really nice bearish abandoned baby. It's not perfect, right? Because the gap was not exactly the same as the gap up and the down, but it gapped down. And that's it, man. That's a Japanese candlestick reversal. And look at the fall through so far. Look what happened yesterday. Virtually a back test of 2075 before now drawing down at your session lows and the market's closed. Okay, we did it, man. Jesus chimes for the bank collapse day, part 2. Yeah. You give me a second, okay? I'm pulling up my my platform so I can try to follow that better. But yeah, you got Microsoft and who is it? Google also reporting today, those two. Let's look, up after hours immediately, right? Maybe they've already reported 3.6% up. So it doesn't really matter, where it is gapped up. It just closed at its lowest price since March 28th. And yeah, it's rallying hard. Man, you're going to get this, man. This is what happens. Okay, up and down. Great, dude. But look at the pattern. Look at the structure here. Do you see this? This reminds me of Bitcoin 2018. It's long, extended rallies, upsloping price contraction. And yeah, okay, gap up on earnings. Okay, let's see how, unless it's a breakaway gap, which means it needs to go up 8 to 10+%, it's going to refill. That gap will fill in time. Google's out too. All right, so Microsoft up about 5% now. So Google also up 2.6%. Look at that. Lowest close, daily candle close since March 31st, but gapping up. Okay, after hitting the 382. Right, this is great. 3 rising valleys. you know, above the 200-day moving average, but man, really bearish locally. But it's earnings, man. Earnings is like, flip your coin. So Google, Microsoft, right now, as of now, killing it on earnings. Let me get these going. See. Yep. Mooning right now. Let's go to, and yeah, so the NASDAQ futures are pumping too, of course, because the two largest market cap assets within are pumping. So let's see, just got as high as 110 on Google. Let's see. Microsoft. Wow, Microsoft is literally on fire in a positive way. $291. Yeah, $291 right now, and its highs. Okay. So here it is. The bottom left is Microsoft, bottom right's Google. This is just like after hours price action. That's all we're looking at here. It's like 5 minute, 1 minute. I can't even remember. Yeah, 5 minute. Don't worry about that. We're not on this chart to be trying to analyze with Japanese candlesticks and stuff. We're just looking at the price action. As you can see, very well so far. But just because that happened, if you haven't been noticing some of these earnings, I mean, one asset it reported was down like 12% and then rallied 15% off those lows. So really low volume in after hours trading. So subject to be volatile. Okay. I mean, like Google being up 2.5% is nothing. Like that's an everyday scrub gap. If it, let's say all stayed the same and it didn't go up 10%, it stayed at 2.4%, that'll fill. That gap will fill. So it has to be like colossal, insane gap up with high volume. Oh, hey, Bitcoin. Let's go Bitcoin, chat. We haven't even talked about Bitcoin that during all this carnage been holding up well, and now is at its highs of the day and hasn't even made a local lower low or the same low. So what happens if we pivot here? I think that implies hyper bullishness. Okay, here's the reason. From your low to high, talking about Fibonacci, sellers couldn't even see a 38% retrace. They got to like a 37%, 36% retrace. But if you're reversing before hitting the golden zone of a local, like your previous discernible low to high, that means you know who's in control of this market, the buyers still. There's no reason to believe the buyers are not in full control of Bitcoin right now. No reason to believe that they're not. Right? We know for a fact there are many assets in the stock market that are making consecutive lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and there's nothing else it does. And you know who's in control. Like, I think the bears are in control of the index funds. So this is, it's good that I'm taking it that like somehow the algos are tied with tech stocks and big ones maybe catch some bids on some good earnings here with Microsoft and Google. Maybe. Seems like literally what's happening. Also, at the same time, we know about Bitcoin normally when the stock market closes, right? Futures trading, whatever was happening,
/BTC
relaxes,
Daily and
right?
Weekly Plaza.
So Hageki, how you doing, man? Thanks for the 15. Oh my God! I'm sorry, I must have had an alert on another chart there. Disregard that, but still really nice here, man. I mean, okay, so anyone would be like, whatever, man, I get it, but this still, as I had been using it for the Wyckoff reaccumulation idea, it's so similar still. So instead of like a back test of the rectangle, it's gone a little lower. Like if this was a 22% drawdown on Bitcoin though. So like Bitcoin hasn't gone down that low yet right now. But like, so the equivalence is like this. This is what's happening. Bitcoin's right here, holding and making a higher low than its low, its previous lows. Subtly, I mean barely, right? It's almost the same, but not. It's like a 90% retrace from the previous local low. And if a pivot happens, that means a very, very subtle accumulation, shakeout, fake out, just like this. This is a mega fake out from August to September of 2020. Okay. So I think we're still in the same ballpark of this going on right now. The context is almost identical. Now, of course, you know, hey, Bitcoin starts rolling over. The whole argument of that falls apart when you fall below 26.7. But until that happens, we have a valid argument that like massive, underwhelming performance from a very real bearish indicator on a significant time scale. Like if that only manifested into a higher low, oh my God, 40K. Yeah, 40K. In time, like sooner than you'd think, if this holds up here. But that's mysteries abound, man. Maybe it doesn't, you know. And again, like, you know, I've been talking about the past few days about liquidity in crypto has been kind of halted. Like there's just the money that can get into crypto is so limited compared to other times, like in 2021 when we saw the mania. We may never get a mania like that again on altcoins now. So the money that's able to get into crypto is probably going to be getting into these mega caps, the big ones. And just so happens that the bigger cryptos, the larger market cap coins, have the best technical arguments on monthly timescales. How's everyone doing? Sorry, I did not stop really since we started. So hello to everyone. What's up, Brad? New dad. Brad dad. It rhymes. What's up, Fedcoin and Niles and Eric? What's up, Eric, dude? Marbob. What's up, Christian? Chunktown. What's up, Kryptone? Good to see the peoples. Brad's the only mod in here. Oh, hey, it's Jim's Dovey, man. What's up, dude? Jimmy, you come into the Bitcoin conference, man, in Miami, dude. It's like a few weeks. Everyone's coming, man. I mean, my buddy from Crypto Glasgow's coming. So why don't you come, dude? Anyway, so you know, I guess we look at Ethereum, but really not doing crap. I mean, compared to Bitcoin. I mean, it's holding up. And really, again, that's sort of, if Ethereum ends up pivoting, making a higher low than 1730, man. Like, this was just a shakeout before 2,400, the common retrace on the weekly. The selling pressure has, I mean, you know, had a couple days of it, but now with this banking drawdown, I mean, this is great, man. This is underwhelming performance from sellers right now, and that's wonderful because guess what? The trend has been up. It's still up right now. If anything, I would think like, you know, you get confirmation highs. There are no confirmation highs or anything on Bitcoin either. So that's another thing. Like, even if it was going to fail at 31K, you'd think that it would attempt a rally to make a lower high, the same high, or a slightly higher high before collapsing. It's just one time. No one really knows. Yeah, be sure to join the Discord if you haven't. Sorry. Yeah. Let me post the link to them. Man, what a day. Holy crap. BNB is up 1%. This is what I'm saying, man. Like, look what it's doing. It's so strong. The sellers are not in control of BNB right now. The buyers are in control. There is accumulation and an absorption of remaining supply by the looks of it. This is so bullish looking. BNB, that's what I'm saying. 1, 2, 3, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and BNB are like all like so good right now. They're just like, yeah, they pulled back. Wow, okay. But zero technical damage done. They're all still right around these key levels. BNB 430. If just a little bit more of resistance gets taken out, man, this is insane. Okay. please understand what's happening. Banks, bad. Mega cap cryptos, okay. Index funds, pretty bad. Yep, pretty bad, man. Wow, look at this. Look at Microsoft, what it did on this 5-minute candle. Just went down to 275 and just rallied back to 288. This is what I'm talking about, man. Earnings. The sheer insanity of price action after hours. Oh, just wait till the conference calls, because this could completely go the other way. It hasn't yet, which is good. I mean, I'm never like rooting for the markets to collapse, but when the technicals imply it would make sense to, then I'm all about it, man. Like, whatever. Just like I didn't take any pleasure in last year where we were just confirming distribution, making lower highs, back testing resistance as resistance for the second time with hidden bearish. I mean, I wasn't like taking pleasure in the dumps, but man, I was able to preserve capital. If you're not going to make money, or if you're going to not make money, preserve your money, right? Don't lose it just sitting in an index fund, which is like what most people do with their retirement. They just sit in it and let that whole last year happen to their portfolio and get demolished. While many assets lost 88 to 99% of their value. Definitely some lost more. Counterparty risk, 10 pence. That's right. All right, let's go to XRP. That is up 1.5%. Yeah, I mean...
Hey Mitch, I've been trying to find a bullish BTC pair chart. Maybe Atom/BTC?
Like when a Bitcoin's showing some decent stuff. Gulshi. It's not that it's bullish per se, but the technical indicators at a basement level are happening. So it's like lower risk. But yeah, we'll look at Atom to BTC. Sure, dude. Yeah, so like on XRP, the next largest crypto, as long as a higher low gets put in above 35.6 cents, it just means more accumulation, and eventually 56 to 80 cents. Yeah, it looks fine. It's just sideways. It pulled back some with Bitcoin above the 200-day moving average. I think you've already had a golden cross. The weekly implies way more upside if you're just patient. You know, just gonna take a while. We got bearish and golden candle last week, below the 200 week. That's okay. Again, anything above 40 cents is a really good. If you back tested 40 cents, it would be legendary. But what happens if there is no back test because it's too strong? Like if we fail to see a 40 cent back test, that should really let you know that the composite operator is nearly concluding his campaign of accumulating, and the market will be coming sooner rather than later. So look for that. Look for sellers trying to get the price to 40 cents to back test it or break it, and failing because there's too much demand. That's what you want to be paying attention to on XRP. Oh, Google, $70 billion stock buyback. Yeah, just a joke, man. Like, hey, all this money that we could put into research and development of a new product that's going to, you know, really get things going. Nah, we're just going to buy back. We're just buying back with ad revenue. Okay, that's just too much of that, man. I think will kill, you know, an entire business cycle. Just buybacks, no R&D, no CapEx, no expansion of ideas, no growth prospects. Just keep business as usual and just buy back to send the price higher on stocks. So what? So maybe the insiders can, you know, at a slightly higher price, can offload their position to you and everyone that has Google or any other asset in their retirement account. Yeah, it's a lower high and then dump. Yeah, okay. And again, like look how, like, I'm telling you, the price action on Google and Microsoft, that they gapped up, like, or they might gap up tomorrow if all stays the same. It is just not big enough of a gap to be considered a breakaway gap. And if it's not a breakaway gap, you know for a fact it's an extremely high probability of a gap fill, meaning like it was nothing, almost nothing, marginally up after hours, and then in the coming days we'll probably fill the gap that it created on the earnings. Cool. Mama Ivy, oh my God. Dude, Mama Ivy based coming in, banning CRT crap and trans crap in schools. I dig it.
Matic.
Yeah, Matic. Did we have enough? Did someone request something? Yeah, let's we'll look at that. We're just still kind of making the rounds because just the activity on the markets today have been nothing short of amazing if you give a crap about every market, not just crypto. Crypto's like, well, okay. It's impressive. Bitcoin's holding and still not even making a local lower low or even the same low, a higher low for now. Look at sugar, multi-year highs, 11-year highs. Look at this asset. Just ungodly. Highest level today since October of 2011. Talk about some Wyckoff reaccumulation. Signs of strength up here. Back up, gone. Last points of supply. It's brilliant, man. Sugar. You will eat the bugs. They're not even gonna, you won't even be able to afford candy bars anymore. That was our last line of defense. They're taking away the crops, right? The corn. You won't even be able to grow your own food anymore. And now there's a war on sugar. And it's not because of it's so bad for you. It's just because they want you to eat bugs. Okay. Yeah, so like you had that, and then orange juice is so elevated. Look at this thing, it's just flagging, getting ready, it's revving up for $300, whatever, unstoppable. But then the foods, besides okay, so you had those two that were really just killing it. But then let's go to gold. Gold up today a little bit. Silver up a little bit today, platinum up a little bit today. The precious metals hanging in there. No reaction so far. Just sellers just not coming in. I don't know how they could. Who the composite operator is on gold. For a fact it's the central banks, and they're buying at their highest level, I believe, ever. So if central banks, composite operator, under the hood, we know for a fact are buying the most amount of gold and silver ever. Who's going to fight them? Who's going to push this price down at this point? It's really hard to say. I don't know. It was just like in back here. Like we knew for a fact that central banks were buying billions of dollars worth of gold and silver over a 6-year period. And then the back test of spring in 2018. And then the really nice bull flag in 2019, and then finally the breakout. Yep, there's same stats of like central banks buying their highest amount of gold in 50 plus years down here. They're doing that again, but in record, like even more now. They're buying even more than they were back then. So it's almost like you could maybe look at this entire range as like maybe it's some sort of Wyckoff reaccumulation schematic that it's one of the alternative ones, right? So you have the different types. Which one would it be? It would be hold on. Where is it? Was it right? Okay, here it is. Oh yeah, dude, look. Not quite. It might not be that simple, right? But if you just look at maybe it's schematic 2, reaccumulation with spring action. That seems very real, right? I mean, you have flat or sloping down formation. It can potentially have a few lower lows, with the spring being the lowest point of the trading range. Leading assets can exhibit short-term weakness after strength in this formation. And that's exactly what gold did, right? This will be number 2. Where gold, the sellers push the price below the bottom of the range around 1682, 1700, and the spring, and we haven't quite made it to the top of the range yet. Very close. I mean, right? We're at an 886. 100% would be the top of the range, and so we're looking for eventually some sort of sign of strength up there where you're actually making all-time highs on gold. You haven't done that, right? All-time highs on gold, still back from like August 2020. So, yeah, something to think about. All right, Bitcoin about to be at $28,000. Let's go back to it. Up 1.45%. That's what I'm saying, man. You know for a fact that the buyers have been in control of this asset for several months now. What's up, Matthew D saying? Looks like a combination of many different Wyckoff variables would be at the backup or phase D moment here. Yeah. We're in the tail end of Wyckoff reaccumulation if it was to be. Correct. So let's look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, right? Because thinking like if money's coming into this market, it's probably going into Bitcoin first. And this is what I'm talking about. Speaking of Wyckoff, Matthew D, here we are. Remember that time we had first identified the spring and then the back test of spring, and we're all the way back in November and stuff, man. It's like, if this holds, dude, if this holds, and look where we are now. It's absolutely magical, man. Just, you know, this is why, like, I never really get burnt out on the charts. I get more burnt out on the streaming aspect and having to worry about metrics of, oh, you're not like growing or whatever. The chart stuff, all my stress and worries melt away because it's just like constantly over time, TA gets respected, and it's like it reinforces, my passion. Where it's like, oh, why do you have a passion for this stuff? It's like because being able to see a spring back test studied right since the 20s, and now off the spring back test, then a Bulkowski classic accumulation structure develops, the third low, the hidden bullish diver, and then the markup, and now you're at the top of the range. And if this is real, so far it has served us very well. If this is real, soon we will be entering phase E of Wyckoff accumulation. And so if that happens, forget Ethereum and everything else. I mean, they're going to go up. You know, rising tide lifts all ships. Bitcoin being the tide itself, the ships being the S coins. But, you know, this thing actually marks up in phase E to 60%, which that is the target. If you break 50%, 48%, you go to 60%. How do we know this? Look left, the price action normally does that. So Bitcoin will probably be going to $40,000 plus. It'll just be outperforming everything. Because again, like it's harder for money to enter crypto now in the US. So Jay, DG, Drums for Daves, so Carthago. Vacation time, yeah, they did. They had a good earnings report. They've gapped up. They're up after hours, yes, 4 to 5%. But the thing is, I mean, like, it's just, if you understand gaps, there will be a gap tomorrow if all stay the same here, but the gap has to be insane and there has to be extreme volume behind it for us to be able to say that's a real breakaway gap. The only gaps that seldom fill are breakaway gaps where there's normally like 7 to 10+% gap up and the volume candle's massive. Okay, great example of a breakaway gap that you're always looking for on earnings from NVIDIA, by the way. Breaking back below support, bearish divergence, 230 target here. I mean, this is not what you want to see. This is an 88% retrace from that high to low. Anyway, going back to breakaway gaps, a great example of a breakaway gap right here. Breakaway gap. It wasn't like that insane, but you can see high volume. Look at all the average volume and then massive volume spike on the gap. How much did it gap up that day? This was way back in the day. Yeah, see a 10 to 11% gap up with high volume. That's what you're looking for. The trend was already bullish, right? Just consolidation. I think we ended up getting another one maybe later on earnings. Let's see. Maybe not. Now COVID crash. No, that was just a good example. Breakaway gaps. None there. Normally they come at earnings. They come on earnings. And you could find these anywhere. I just chose NVIDIA because I remember that one from way back in the day. Here was an earnings. I mean, this is a gap right there. Like, you know, high volume, gap up. And you've rallied. But now it seems like buyers, there's not much demand up here. So the buyers maybe are relenting as you break back below key inflection point, down 3% today, up 0.39% after hours, probably just because of the tech stocks reporting earnings. So I hear that Chipotle reported and did very well on their earnings. Yeah, this one like killed it. Look at this. Top right of your screen's Chipotle. It closed around 1780. It's at 1870 right now. Good Lord. All right, Bitcoin's near its highs of the day, as altcoins can't catch real bids. I mean, some are catching some bids, but it's just compared to the performance of Bitcoin and Ethereum and BNB. Well, not BNB yet. BNB still just looks so prime for upside. Just butting up against that resistance, absorbing supply. I mean, I think Pelosi sold her Nvidia last year. I don't know. Did she rebuy or something? I don't know. Litecoin's up 3.4%. All right, this is it, man. Okay, so think about it. Underwhelming performance on the very real bearish divergence on the daily, and just a formal back test of $84, which was once a massive resistance reversal area. It is now support. Okay, $105 maybe. You're talking. This is insane. This is just as important as your $66 back test. Just like you saw in December, you saw it again in March, and now you're getting another just good old-fashioned back test, and this could have serious consequences. Let's look at Litecoin to Bitcoin just real quick. We'll get in a couple of these requests. I know we only like one or two, man. All right. Yeah, look at this. I mean, you see 3,048, not a joke. Completed M shape of sorts, but look left. It is an ice line from 2017. Buyers they've sprung it and they're attempting to spring back test. Look, a spring and a back test of spring here. You got to wonder if this will actually, what kind of consequences this will have. Like higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and then above a historical level from years ago. It means like Litecoin could maybe outperform Bitcoin. Could be one to do it. Is there a supply line? Yeah, I haven't broken supply line yet. Still a little bit more work to do. Really, is it a channel? Almost a wedge. You know, just think the supply line there. Yeah, we do have a monthly close coming up. Not too many more days. Okay, let's knock out these requests. And it was Let me see here. Sorry, it's like not loading. Of course it's not loading, dude. Unreal. There we go. All right, link to Bitcoin for Hageki. Link to... Yeah, so it's getting down here, completing an M shape, but oh, good God, it broke that level, man. All right, broke the level. That was a nice ascending, broadening wedge that it officially hit its 100% measured move the date of January 23rd. And ever since then, it's formally back tested an inflection point, some candle lows and highs, right? It's at resistance now. But yeah, I mean, other than that, you're requesting it for a specific reason. And what would that reason be? Just a completed M shape by the looks of it. You're completing an M shape, and it's already at a global 886 or something, right? So shark or bat? Wow, nice one, dude. Yep. It's a beautiful, beautiful bullish shark pattern. All happening, you know, around that all-time low from 2017 at the highest high ever, right? Link Marines, blah, 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 Dave Portnoy. Yeah, 886, and now you're completing this. Pretty cool. You kind of reacted right there, didn't you? My God. Small reaction. It's something to pay attention to. That would just imply that maybe in time, Link might try to outperform Bitcoin if this actually ushers in the reversal, which M-shapes can do that. There was a great, this was like a trade setup, and I remember, like, it was like a bullish Gartley, falling wedge, bullish divergence, everything you could dreamed of was happening right here on Link in March of 2021. And look at that beautiful trade. Like, it happened, it played out, and we're not trying to find like the bottom and it's gonna go all-time highs. Just looking for an asset to pivot and reverse and run to reasonable levels, and exceeded those reasonable levels, which is the top of the harmonic. So you now got a long-term downtrend since then, and finally a new M shape down at this major 886, the magic spot. So we'll see what happens. If it plays out, then that means Link to the US dollar would in time outperform Bitcoin. Here's Link to the US dollar, up 1.73%. Just look, man, it's like a heart rate monitor, man. Thanks for the 725 people tuned in. Thanks for the 420 likes. If you're enjoying the live stream, hit that like button, that bell, sub. Let's get to 500 just because we can, just because the fiat scam system is unraveling before our very eyes as the asset that we put our faith in, Bitcoin, holds very strong. Very strong. Actually rallying on the day that FRC has a 50% drawdown to all-time lows. And as the index funds dumped too. It's beautiful, man. No, there will be another rate hike. Yeah. What the next meeting or something. So looking at this, it doesn't, like you can look at the link to Bitcoin chart and then you look at the link to the US dollar and you're like, it's garbage. I mean, if it puts in a higher low than the low from March 12th, that just means there's accumulation going on quietly. It's still holding above this 200-day moving average, but below the midpoint of the range, and also below this little inflection point from September 2020, you need to get back above that. I think if you do it though, put in your third higher low and finally run to 960. That's all I can give you right now. Again, you're starting to get cute with these little altcoins, where's the liquidity that can come into the market on command like it could in 2021 or any other time? The SEC is like virtually waged war on crypto in the US, so it's just going to be fundamentally harder for, I think, all these S coins to catch the bids. And if they were, it would be the extremely higher market cap ones like Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, XRP, maybe even Cardano, man. Nah, Cardano, below 41 cents, forget it. Above 41 cents, maybe, man. Maybe massive markup. Yeah. Ethereum up almost 1% now. Yours highs of the day. Very good. Yep, gold's over $2,000. Silver, 25, yep. And much higher in time. You don't need... Monthlies look so good on gold and silver. All you'd have to do is just buy it physical and sit on it for months, if not years. Not financial advice. Oh, how does Jonathan feel about all this? Yeah, good question. Maybe we should ask him. Hey, Jonathan, how do you feel about the FRC crashing 50% today and regional banks collapsing?
I like turtles.
There's bears out here.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Financial advisor at the bank or manage it yourself?
I mean, you're asking a guy. I mean, I've never had anyone manage my money for me, and I've turned out okay. But I started learning about this as soon as I graduated college.
Can you give us an update on Atom?
Yes, Space Ape, we will. Yeah, we'll look at Atom. Someone asked for Atom to BTC too. We'll look at both of those. Thank you, dude. I mean, 300K cash now, not financial advice. What I would do, I mean, God, are people scared that like the treasuries are going to default or something like that? The U.S. government's going to default and therefore you're not going to get paid? I mean, like treasury bills right now, right? I mean, just throwing it in there. That's attractive. Just to maybe keep up with, you know, inflation, but you're not. That's the crazy thing. You get this yield and then, oh, we're still behind. Your money's still losing. It's crazy. I mean, I wouldn't want to be saying like recklessly, oh, 300K into Bitcoin, but dang, man, what is happening? I mean, there's more demand than before. There's like maybe. It's still really high. I know it's not at like a value perceived area. It's not like it's back testing a real support right now. I get that. But dang, man, counterparty risk. This asset seems extreme, fundamentally, without technicals at all, without strategizing, you know, low risk, high reward opportunities. Yeah, Bitcoin all day. Fundamentally, yes, always. Technically, you know, it's, if anything, I mean, maybe a stop. Just if one was trying to get with this, a stop below 26.6 or something. You know, just if you were trying to play it, I don't know. So yeah, we'll look at. So I just wanted to, again, where I was at before these two contributions came in. This is just a good reiteration, reinforcement of what one should always be looking for, whether it's bullish or bearish, right? A wonderful combination of variables, never the one, the many. DRI, we were looking at it yesterday. DRI, where the asset was just barely above this high from 2021. It had fallen back below it to close with a bearish engulfing candle, rising wedge, 88% retrace, bearish divergence on the oscillators. That's what we're talking about. That's an edge. That's what you're always dreaming of. You should be dreaming about that combination of variables. And if it was the other way around, it would be a completed M shape, 88% retrace, 1, 2, third valley locally, falling wedge pattern, bullish divergence on the oscillators, and a bullish engulfing candle back above a key ice line on a daily close, right? Those are all the variables you're looking for bullish, for upside. And then for downside, exactly the same, but opposite, right? Great combination and the lowest risk and maximum downside potential, right? The target like 129, 128. Beautiful. Anyway, so that was up on my chart up there. Everything's, you know, kind of okay, man. Crypto. So let's knock out the next request for Higeki, and then Golshi for Atom to BTC. Yeah, he wanted Atom to BTC. All right. Man, look at BNB near its highs of the day. Highest price since the 19th, about a week ago. And really not much anything there until 348 again. Cosmos to Bitcoin. Not sure I would say good. Nah. Not good, dude. No way. Not good at all. In fact, terrible. I mean, looking at this chart, to me, it looks like Atom will underperform Bitcoin for the foreseeable future. Atom will continue to mark Atom to Bitcoin. This is the Atom to BTC, not Atom to US dollar. This asset will continue to draw down until maybe seeing, look at this. This is the support. March 2020, May 2020, look, June 2021, look, again, June 2022. It's never really reversed here, ever. So way more downside on Atom to Bitcoin. Like 30% more downside. So I think Atom will underperform Bitcoin for a while. I mean, when you fail to break a key level like that, so much classic distribution, and every one of these highs locally, they were all lower than the previous levels. So, right? Don't you, trading ranges, you want to buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. You'd be buying randomly in the middle of the range, so that's gambling. And sadly, hidden bearish divergence on the daily. Look, from this pathetic high to this whatever high, higher levels of positive momentum and higher levels of relative strength, implying continuation to the downside. Downside. Yeah, not good, man. I don't know. Not really. I would just move on. Let's go to Matic from Mama Ivy. Thank you so much, Mama Ivy. I hope you're still here around. I don't know if you're, failed dragon pattern. But this is the thing. This is the state of the crypto union where Bitcoin holds up and these coins can't even make local higher highs. You're at a key level. If you don't hold this, then see you back at 73, 72 cents. It's all about, can it hold? And you're not oversold yet. You're not showing bullish divergence yet. You'd have to get a real pivot. We need to get a Japanese candlestick, a signal, like some sort of candlestick signal that is trying to reverse here. You don't have anything. You're falling back below the 200-day moving average. I really just have concerns about this. I mean, hey, man, it's cool that we put in a higher low. It was kind of a really higher low, dragon, and broke out. And then just, you got to think about psychologically here. This level, there wasn't enough demand to push the price to actually 120. It got as high as 119. So that's really subtle. It can imply that too much supply, not enough demand. So that's like a signature of weakness. And look at the drawdown, bearish engulfing, and the fall through. And so if this 94, 95 cent level doesn't hold, you better look out below because you're going a lot lower. I think there was like some sort of like demand line here too. See, you like broke that. Right? You broke the demand line like June of 2022, January of this year, and now breached yesterday and still below it. So I hope it holds, right? It could. And if one wanted to, like, I don't think that there's enough of it. There's no edge, right? There's nothing like strong. It's not, I don't think the argument's strong enough to take a long, but if one wanted to, wouldn't they just go long like literally now and one would just have a stop loss set up below this low from March 11th? Because like that's the invalid. Your whole argument for longing at a support fails when 94 cents is breached. So again, we're looking at Bitcoin dominance. Phase D going into phase E of the Wyckoff accumulations in phase D going into phase E, meaning like Bitcoin will probably outperform everything under the sun in the coming months. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, dang, man, it's been performing so well, but now like the buying climax and then two lower highs than the buying climax, which is confirmation of distribution on this asset right now. Not necessarily a great thing, not really good. You're still going to probably remain in an uptrend until you make a lower low than 75, 74 cents. But still, that just means there's more downside. Sorry, Mama Ivy. Okay. Come on, 28K, give it to us. We're only like, what, a few dollars away. We did see 28K briefly. Atom to the US dollar. This is for Space Ape. It's the same situation, man. I just don't feel very good about it, okay? Like, hey, well, in the middle of nowhere, we'll identify a pattern. Normally, you always want to identify patterns at inflection points. You didn't get that here. So, all right. So the rally turned into, see, this is the new data. This right here, hey, new data presenting itself, meaning what? No longer is this valid of a dragon? Dead. That happens. What's really going on? Identical to Matic in terms of confirmation of distribution and virtually a buy wall around 1060. So guess what could be coming next? And if this is real, right? I mean, like, what is going on? Here's your highest high on Atom was September 12th. That's not what Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin just made its highest high of the recovery, right? It did that April 14th, but Atom's not doing that. Atom made its highest in September last year, and then a lower high in November, and then another lower high. and now only lower highs. That's all you do is just lower highs. So you could be getting, and now you're below the 200-day moving average. The things that you really needed to happen are not happening on the altcoins. So there could be a lot more downside. Now, of course, Bitcoin rallies, and I'm just going to rally wherever Bitcoin pivots and starts rallying too. It's just not going to perform as well as Bitcoin. Like normally I'm like, look, give me some higher highs, higher lows. And eventually, if it makes eventually where it sells off and pivots, it makes a higher low than December's. It'll be 1 low, 2 lows, maybe a third low. Bitcoin 28K, we did it, chat, we did it. Bears defeated. XRP having a nice rally right now. My God, Chipotle is now 1918 at its highs of the after hours trading session. Good God, look at this. Mooning. Food, man, food. Everyone's got to eat. And here it is on the chart. Here's the chart. CMG after hours approaching all-time highs. Craziest thing ever, right? It could do it. I'm under the market participants are trying to get that to happen, right? 1959 is the all-time high, and it's almost like dude. We gap up tomorrow. Holy crap! Do you imagine what's developed or developing on a gap up? I mean, almost a little too deep on B, but the 886. I mean, you're exceeding the 886 after hours, but like think about an a W shape. Hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, it was really nice to see a double bottom reconfirmed support. August 2020's high became a double bottom and a nice rally off of that, but now approaching all-time highs. Wow, crazy. 1928 was just hit after hours, continues to climb. Bitcoin's at its highs of the day. Bitcoin is in fact at its highest price since the 21st, a few days ago, whatever, but still, I think that's great, man. Probably running up to 28.8 in time. Just to test it, right? Bitcoin could be pivoting and running to attempt a rally. The rally from 31K high. $28,040 right there at the highs. Let's take a look. Beautiful stuff here. Don't forget, in 2020, Bitcoin did a very similar thing. Very similar. It had a Wyckoff reaccumulation range. It broke out of the Wyckoff reaccumulation range, and then it drew down the shakeout, only to make a higher low than even the bottom of the Wyckoff reaccumulation before pivoting. And after that pivot, that was when all these news-driven catalysts came out, PayPal, Square adopting crypto, and that's when Moon. So again, if this holds, oh my God, if we see 30K again, and then we break it, 40K easily. How's it at $28,050? Wow, dude, 1930 on CMG right there. Just hit its highs of the session. It's now pulled back 1921, but that's called the casino, man. The casino. You just don't. It could have easily just the same thing. CMG could have been down the same percentage amount. So. And again, I just don't think that like the rally, I mean, Microsoft, Google, these are not special rallies. This is almost nothing. These gaps will fill probably in the coming days. So it's not going to, make the index funds like somehow just moon and then break out and then run to the next. Probably not. I don't think that's enough at all. It's a joke. Why is Bitcoin pumping? Well, first off, if you notice that regional banks are continuing to collapse, certainly. There are cracks in that system there. This is counterparty risk to that. It's been like that.
Possibly asked before, but do you have plans to stream on Rumble? 0.000464448 BTC.
I mean, like, I know it's been discussed briefly before with Brad, but I had not planned on it, not really. I mean, probably be okay, but I just don't know, just trying these new things, dude. They never work. I'm doing shorts, growth, no growth. I mean, and again, I know I'm gonna keep doing them, and it's not even about the growth, but the format for growth is to do shorts. So okay, I'll stream on Twitch. Doesn't really do anything. Just do different things and make static videos, and doesn't really work. Okay. Maybe I'll do Rumble. Maybe. Don't you have to pay to stream on Rumble? Like what? I gotta pay them? Ethereum still just up 1% today, underperforming Bitcoin. Let's look at Ethereum to Bitcoin. Now look at that. Wyckoff distribution still in full effect. Oh yeah. How do we get this? Dang, how is it all screwed up like that? Should be a little up. Yeah, you are in phase D of Wyckoff distribution. This is all, it's genius stuff. I mean, like the composite man is the genius here. And you know, look at the supply line, the lower highs. Look now back testing the 200-day simple moving average as resistance. His signature is here, man, and it is perfect right now. Wow. Thanks, Bob. I don't know about that, man. You know, the tech stocks that had been like kind of just going sideways, Bitcoin had I've been outperforming the tech stocks. There's kind of been like a decoupling a little bit. Anyone got something to say? Think that it's not Wyckoff distribution? I mean, the argument is so powerful here. It is unbelievable. It is out of the book. So, you know, soon we'll get, and this makes sense, Bitcoin dominance the way it looks. And this just means that like soon Bitcoin will begin to outperform Ethereum dramatically for a little bit to draw this price down to 5.5 million Satoshis per Ethereum. 4 to 5 shorts a day. My God, I'll run out of stuff to do. Just kidding. But yeah, man, it's like, let me just do every single chart pattern out of Bulkowski's book. Probably a good start, right? There's a few of them for sure, man. Lord. It's crazy, though. It's a lot of work on Shaylin. So, what do you think? You think this is real or fake news? You think Ethereum is just gonna the proof of stake coin now? They can be controlled, decentralized, all that. You think it's really gonna beat out Bitcoin with what's going on fundamentally in the financial markets? Jay, I mean, most of the time they have been. That's what they've been. Bulkowski shorts, and I mean, like that's where the information's coming from on these. Like that's the source of them. Maybe I should put that in the description so people don't think like, oh, I'm just saying stuff, you know. No, it's like his research. Okay, do we look at we're just waiting for the signs of weakness. Yeah. Yeah, you can get signs of weakness in phase B multiple times. But this is it, man. This is like what you're looking at here, okay? Where it's all accounted for. I mean, you had an upthrust after distribution, and now you're in that last points of supply, and eventually the sign of weakness is going to be a massive drawdown to test that level again, and eventually, yeah, you'll back test the breakdown as resistance, and then phase E will commence when you break the range for real and you start drawing down again. So gorgeous, man. Don't know how people like Raul Paul still like looking at this like it's good. Like he doesn't even care about Wyckoff distribution. Just like He thinks it's some sort of like bull flag. I'm like, dude, you're out of you're crazy, man. This is not at all bullish consolidation right now. Anyway, so you got Alphabet and Microsoft. They're keeping their gains after hours. Litecoin up 3.3%. Nicest gainer. Matt Damon coin's trying to hold up 2.85% up. GRT still, you know, I mean, it does like they're up today, but barely. It's like they don't look that great still. Yeah, like most of these coins just, I mean, they're fine. They're just, they look like they're gonna underperform Bitcoin. Like you think about Bitcoin's the higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and it's been that way. And you're strong, and you're only a few percentage points off your highest high of the year. And then you look at something like VeChain, it's like, good God, man, can't catch like it's sure it looks like lower risk areas maybe for a big old reversal, but good God, can't even come close to matching your highs from February 21st. Or August last year. Look how this just a joke, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like the money.
I need to go all in on something right now. What's the most risky coin I could possibly choose? Thank you. 0.008531667 ETH.
Oh, thanks, Ben. Sorry, I couldn't see what your last name was. Oh well. Thanks, Ben. For the 1588. Something risky, huh? You just trying to get me in a lawsuit, dude? Not financial advice. Bitcoin. Preserve your preserve your wealth. Like, I mean, inflation gonna kill you. Bitcoin's probably gonna outperform a treasury bond. Probably. I guess we'll put that to the test. But I mean, I'm saying like risky because Bitcoin may not be at like like, oh, we're back testing a key inflection point and we don't really have much of an edge. That's what I'm saying about risky. Bitcoin's maybe riskier because it's like still so elevated, but my God, making a higher low locally. It's trying to, and banks are collapsing at the same time and unable to fall into the bearish control zone for pivoting on the RSI. And it's like, okay, man, why not just this? Why not just be like, okay, I'll put my high risk into Bitcoin. There's your risk. But if you really want the riskiest asset ever, FRC, dude, because it's probably going bankrupt. Going long on any bank right now would be your riskiest play. When I'm talking about, look at this. Let me, oh my God, BNB. Let's go to BNB real quick. The alert went off. Chat, I'm telling you, the way this looks is like absorption of supply, 430 on deck. The bearish divergence manifested into a local high or low. That means there are not enough sellers right now. Just there are no sellers. Or there are far too many buyers, which is like CZ over there. You know, teamed up with Communist China or something weird, doing dark magic, you know, behind the scenes. That's what it looks like. Looks like some serious bullish voodoo going on. Asian voodoo going on BNB. Moon soon type behavior. All right, 430, 510, the weekly dragon. So keep it simple, man. Remember the rising three methods, bullish continuation that is still extremely valid on the weekly after breaking out and confirming a bullish dragon. Anyone remember? You know, everyone already forgot, didn't they? Already forgot about this. It's going to be an NFT. This thing breaks out and runs. This will be an NFT. Gorgeous, man. It's rare. 5 Japanese candlestick pattern. All right. Imagine Dragons and Rising 3 Methods. Start a band. So this is good, man. It's real good. Maybe we should. I haven't done this in a minute, but let's take a look at BNB to BTC. Probably going to be substantially better. Not really. God, actually terrible? Like really scary bad? You're talking about like, think about what the worst thing an asset could ever do is happening on BNB to Bitcoin. What was once a resistance from May of 2021 and December of 2021 is being formally back tested as resistance. So it is kind of in the same category of terrible like Ethereum. Like these assets are implying we're about to get destroyed by Bitcoin's going to ruin our lives. But the US dollar pairing's going to rise with Bitcoin, but it's just not going to, the percentage upside is just not going to be as powerful as Bitcoin itself to the US dollar. So that right there is a back test, a formal bearish back test. And then hidden bearish divergence, a lot of downside, tremendous downside potential. Doesn't it look like it? It's been drawing down for a while though, right? Yes, it has. Okay, we'll go back to BNB just to add a new alert. I need to get another coffee. Just want to be aware, man. I just want to, hey, I'm doing something and the beep goes off and I know. So far, bearish divergence has become not reliable, and a tweezer top not reliable really. No follow through. It was reliable initially, right? But no follow through. So that should make you extremely optimistic. Like that type of price action kind of is a tell of who is in control of this market right now. It's not sellers, man. Or this asset anyway, okay? Because I mean, like many of the altcoins are not like BNB. They are not the same. Not even close. So many just jokes. You know, they're near their lowest lows ever. You know, just jokes, man. Not elevated, not butting up against resistances. And every time it fails, the buyers relent. But then a higher low gets put in, symbolizing accumulation. Most of them, I would say 98% of the altcoins are not doing what BNB is doing, or Bitcoin, or even Ethereum. Most are kind of in the XRP category, but more poor. Like at least XRP on the weekly has got that sick double bottom at the 886 inflection point. Okay, so I can still be optimistic on it, but you know, of the four, least optimistic on XRP. But even though I think it'll play an 80-cent target on that, but it could take 6 months. Most optimistic of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB. Yeah. And yeah, Litecoin too. Litecoin's kind of very interesting too. I agree with that. I like Litecoin. And I like Litecoin to Bitcoin too. Litecoin to Bitcoin's springback test. I mean, there's a bullish argument. No bullish argument on BNB to BTC, nor Ethereum to BTC. Ooh, hey, Saker Chris, thank you so much for joining the Citadel, man. I really appreciate that. But please get some hype in the chat for Saker Chris, who joined just a little while ago. Much love, man. Because of you, we can keep this going, man. 100% crowdsourced. There are no sponsorships, no ads, just you. So thanks for that, man. Really, really appreciate that. More than you know. Still above 28K, getting above 28.8. It's going to be spectacular. It's rough, man. Just because it's like we're trying to break out of the troposphere, you know, where all the weather is. And it's just like you're at the tip top of the troposphere. What is about to break in the mesosphere, something crazy. Yeah, breaking above 31K is the next level of our atmosphere. I don't know. It could just be outer space. I don't know. There's an active trade setup on BNB on the weekly. Targets are just the common retraces from the high, the all-time high, to the lowest low in the summer. So like for instance, I mean minimum 369, but I'm thinking like for if it's a dragon for real, $483 target. 565 after that. But again, it could take 6 months. So just understand what's happening. Someone could even try to really try. You'd be reaching, but oh, a third higher low got put in already. So 1, 2, 3, breakout, Japanese candlestick pattern, and if you ever break 350, bye bye BNB moon. Insane upside. Yeah, minimum 430 because of that high from May of 2021, a couple years ago. We're on the cusp, chat. Very, very close here. Sparglet, fundamentally, no. It would, I don't even know, like, what's causing this collapse kind of is banks. And Bitcoin's the inverse of banks. It was created for what exactly for what is happening right now. That's the craziest thing, right? Oh, we have like, you know, recession in earnings or whatever. Okay, global market sell off and slow down. Okay, got that. That Bitcoin would just correlate to everything dumping. But man, this is different. This crisis going on is incredible for Bitcoin. This is it, man. Treasuries. Yeah, so it's like just hard to see Bitcoin going to lower than 15.5 in these market conditions. It's really hard to. Even though it could, of course it can. I'm not here to try to be like making speculative calls. I'm just saying, dang man, sometimes it does make sense to talk about the fundamentals. And this is, man, Satoshi Nakamoto out there or not. He'd be inverse rolling in his grave, right? He would be like, what is the inverse of rolling? He would just be sitting there in his grave smiling. I don't know, like whatever. The inverse of that. Jeez. It's like, dude, regional banks like collapsing. It's like, oh, I'm getting scared of having any money in a regional bank. It's like, I've never had that. I've never even thought about that before in my life. Oh, like having cash in my bank. And now I'm like, oh, having to think about, dang, man. And that's every single person in the West is like, my regional bank that's not too big to fail or whatever, that's already been nationalized by the government, is it safe? And it's like, okay, say it collapses, I'll lose everything. FDIC insured $250,000. How many years would that take for me to get my money back? Like that stuff, like you don't want to like have to be, you don't want to be reliant on the government to get $250,000 back, dude. You don't want that ever. Because you may never get it back. They'll do everything. They're just like an insurance company. They'll do everything in their power to make sure that they don't want to pay you. They're going to try not to. Yeah, Matthew D. But that's the beauty. That's why it's like I just can't. It's hard to see fundamentally how Bitcoin could go to 15.5 or lower again, man. It's crazy. Like, at least short term. Maybe things subside and, you know, whatever. Join the Discord or be destroyed. It's right there. Wow, Bitcoin's at its highs of the day. $28,200 in climbing, chat. Let's freaking go. Up 2.5%. Man, you're making this is such a subtle low that people would just dismiss it. And it's like, don't dismiss it. Don't dismiss this subtle higher low than the previous low because it happened in 2020 before Bitcoin went insane, man. There's evidence of that. We already looked at it on stream today. A pump stream. I know it was a banking stock collapse stream, actually. And it's now somehow merged or morphed into a Bitcoin rally stream. Pretty nice, dude. That's not a joke. Oh my God. And like that, bearish divergence. That's in a bull trend, a real bull trend. This is about what you're going to get. Right? A 35% retrace. And I'm telling you, if Bitcoin market participants do not push the price to see at least a 38% retrace before a major pivot, that is hyper bullish, right? If from this previous discernible low to the high, after you made a 23% retrace, so it's valid anchoring. If sellers can't push the price to the golden zone, which is 26,674, which is confluent with this local low, hyper bullish. Hyper 40K moon. Yeah, not even kidding, dude. That is serious, dude. Hey, we had a few new people join the Discord. What's up, Westy and Jericho and King K and Cryptonomics? What's up, y'all? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining the Discord. Look, you get notified when I go live. I went live today early. So if you are reliant on YouTube notifications, there's a high probability you will not get notified and you will miss this stream. And the best streams are normally at non-scheduled times because there's a reason why I'm going live. It's warranted with price action.
Can you take a look at CDE? Thanks.
So Golden Knight, thanks for 20, dude. Oh, that we can. We can, yeah. CDE. Thanks for the 770 people tuned in. Hey, we just hit 400 likes? Wait, I thought we already hit 400 likes. Someone was lying earlier or something. I don't know. Anyway, just keep our eye on this right now for Bitcoin. The altcoins, the bigger ones kind of climbing. BNB though on insane, ungodly, crazy breakout watch. Terminal accumulation. Matthew, do you remember that pseudo term we made up in 2020? Terminal accumulation on like COP, ironically. It was just like making so many effing higher lows before breaking higher. Okay, let's see. CD was like an extra request anyway, so we'll just knock it out. CD is kind of wild here. I'll tell you. Why is it kind of wild? Well, here's the thing. You know, it made, on this rally, it made the highest high since April 25th. Great news. Before that, it made a higher low than the previous low and really back tested a key ice line from 2019. But what it's doing now is after just one last failed attempt to break out the key level, it's now formally back testing. Look at this. It's like a weekly candle low close from 2014. Buyers trying to defend it. And you know, not really that concerned about the 4 hour, but if you want to look at the 4 hour, how crazy it looks, look at this. All right, you trying to tell me, is this not going to play out? All right. This is one of the most textbook bullish hammers I've ever seen. Look at that. That is like, oh, yeah, that's straight out in 200 moving average, whatever. That's straight out of a textbook. And here's the follow-through candle to confirm its validity, right? You know, you get a hammer like that, and the next 4 hour candle is just a big red candle, and you close lower than that, then it's invalid. It's not even a real hammer. But when you get the hammer itself, anytime you get a Japanese candlestick pattern, the next candle that's not a part of the Japanese candlestick, you want to confirm the Japanese candlestick. So like, if it's a bullish reversal candlestick, well, you want follow through and have a higher close than the previous close. You got that on CDE. And so to me, getting back above 363, extremely bullish here. Hey, hidden bullish divergence argument being worked on too. I think like, again, it's a long-term thing, just like gold itself. It's a gold miner or silver miner. Look at the weekly here and just think, I mean, to me, it's still at the basement. Yeah, it's the weekly candle low close from 2014. You're trying to defend that. If that's successfully defended, we start rallying off of that, separating, getting back to 430. Then the next time we test 430, breakout. Yeah, if this isn't low risk, nothing is. If this isn't a low risk area to strategize an entry, nothing is. Yep, still insane. 28,161 on Bitcoin. All right, man. Probably going to 28.8 in time to test that level just to see. It might be resistance. We might reverse there, but it's good. Oh, congrats, Gorilla Glue. Congrats on your daughter, too. Wow. Brad just had a daughter, too. Wow. Y'all should have a post-child having pizza party or something, you know? And you're in Fort Lauderdale, so you're not too far away from me. I'm in Miami now. Okay, get it? So CDE weekly is like unreal. Like, what the... If this holds... It's just going to do what gold's doing, and we're thinking in 6 months to over a year plus, gold moon. So here you have it. That is not a joke, dude, at all. Well, at 340, argument kind of weakens a little bit, but dude, so keep your eye on this and pray for gold spot price to continue to ascend here, because that's all that needs to happen for CDE to get a 743 in time. Gorgeous. Okay, back to Bitcoin for, you know, just staying around here, man. There was a bearish engulfing candle last week, but is there any fault? It's not about the candle itself. We just talked about that hammer on CDE. It's not about the candle itself like we received last week on Bitcoin. It's about the follow through. So far, zero follow through on this bearish engulfing. Zero. So at this point, I mean, 28.8. Why don't we go test 28.8? If we can't break it, fine. Relent. Buyers relent. We're done. We dump lower. But let's get a test. Let's go retest this level on the weekly to reconfirm its validity as support resistance, if anything. So that just means like Bitcoin goes up another 2%. 2% just to go test 28.8. That's so reasonable. And look at your RSI on the weekly on Bitcoin. Are you right now, what it looks like until new data presents itself and changes this, what it looks like for now is buyers are attempting to defend the weekly bullish control zone. You never even got overbought. You were at 69.69. Technically better than overbought, right? I'd always like 69, but 60 being defended by the buyers. Holy crap, man. $28.2. Wait, that's just like on the daily, just the high or low. A high or low, Larry. Dude, what the? Get the... Wow. Okay, so just remember, it's the old Wyckoff reaccumulation.
Mitch, have you ever read Gann's Tunnel Through the Air? Just wondering.
I've not, Jay, no. I have not. Is it worth a read? I know he's one of the...
Could you take a look at Cobb on NYSE, please? Also, ever thought about a light version of your subscription with less content but allows for lower entry? 0.164022000 LTC.
What's up, dude? Nah, I mean... Nah, like... People do that tiered system. We decided to do not that. It's just a one thing. Like, one tier. I think the value provided is worth, you know... Free market did too, so it's just we have like ways you can support, but you know, if you want the stuff, right, the educational setups and all that, it's that one set price and you get everything else too. So Cabo though, Cabo. Let me knock it out real quick. I got my eye on it. Okay. Eye on Bitcoin. Well, you know, let's do this. Let's take off the post market and put on just the old 60 minute, whatever. Cabo. Cable 1. Oh. Oh my God, it's so bearish, man. Oh. It was disgusting, dude. Are you kidding me? This is nasty, bro. Like, win bankruptcy, you know, like win bankruptcy on this asset, dude. This is Cabo. You know what's going on, right? So it's the good old-fashioned confirmation of distribution. One high, one failed attempt to make higher highs, and then the second failed attempt, and then the drawdown. But then, oh, we're confirming a bottom at a level back from 2017. The rally occurred, and it's manifested into a terrible lower high, and the 200-day simple moving average is now resistance again. That is gross, man. You've reset the oscillator completely. Currently at 40 on the RSI, right? You're about to breach into the bearish control zone. 639 and then probably 601 to finally go test this low from 2018. And then after that, there's no support for a very, very long time to like 491. So this is, I don't know what's going on with Cable One, consumer services, cable, satellite TV. But yeah, you could imagine this would continue to decline. It's really because of the sources. I mean, the information that these cable services, all ads and bullcrap. I don't know. People like getting their information other ways now. So this is terrible. Terrible, and I don't care if it rallies. Like, I don't care. The trend is your friend, and it's certainly bearish. And I know you're nearing the bottom, right? You've virtually hit like a 100% retrace from May 18th or May 2018 low to high, but it doesn't mean like you're not going to continue to draw down. And these are terrible market conditions. You know, there's sometimes they don't make money. Some quarters they just lose money. It's like, okay, that's not a good market. You don't want to own assets in these market conditions where they don't make money and debt is expensive and liquidity is drying up. You don't want to own assets that don't make money. You had forever to do that, a really long time. Okay, here's Bitcoin, 28,200 again, and probably heading to at least the way this Wyckoff reaccumulation range was, you know, 28,567. Well, you're thinking 28,8 on the daily. Very, very good here, man. It's very similar to 2020. I remember Janix. I remember. He said that before the initial crash. I mean, he said that before all the regional banks started crashing, which is the most insane aspect of that tweet. SJIM in the portfolio until the day he dies or I die. What's up, T? Oh, wow. That's cool. Great answer. Chat GPT. 28,230. We're at the highs of the day. We're at the highest highs, you know, in 4 days. And where there's congestion and consolidation from history, that is probably where the asset would run to, where the buyers would push the price to just test to see how much supply remains at that level. Because there might be overwhelming supply at this, you know, where all the chop is, where the reversals have happened before. Happen again, but that's probably a good target on a pivot here with banks, regional banks collapsing. So since I'm live early, do we have like many people from Europe watching? You know, a little earlier. I know I'm like right at that cutoff at normal time. Getting those Europeans, maybe they're watching now. We got London swear down, yeah. Slovenia in here. Netherlands. Nice. Croatia, Austria. Let's go. Western Peoples Unite. Denmark. Serbia. Dude. Bruges, what? A lot of Netherlands. Turkey. All right, man. No one talks like that. Yeah, they do. You must be in the wrong part of London, dude. Oh my God, the set ended? Really? Wow. Okay. Man, I was really digging the set from 420. That was like a nice, really nice. I might get another coffee. Try to extend this. We got 2 hours, 30 minutes till the daily close. I don't know if I'll be able to make it through to get mean that much, but so what is it? Manchester. Okay, Bruges is in Belgium. Okay, Belgium, Amsterdam, Portugal. Dang, man, I think we got at least one person from every country in, Europe watching, except France. Maybe France. I don't know. Anyone in France? How's it going, dude? We got Poland in here. Hey, it's the Crypto Glasgow. Is that Deck or is that Dawn? You able to get Dawn down here too, man?
Watching, boss. White tick mark.
I thought you've tipped before. How's that your first super chat? Thanks, dude, for the first super chat. Maybe you tipped via Stream Elements or something. Thanks, dude. Yeah, dude. Get Dawn to Miami too. Just tell him to let the wifey say okay. Dang, we got Norway. We do have French people in here. No way. Eric's in the Netherlands. Do lots of Netherlands folks. Wow. So what I've been binging lately is like what I'm studying a lot lately, like in my free time, has been like the late hundreds AD, and I'm currently like still in the thousands, but learning about all the English kings and the Norman kings. French kings some too, but it is fascinating, man. Like, wow. Don't know what's happened. It's so fun though. And it's like, the stories that are happening, that happen to these kings and potential kings and stuff. It's like, this is where Game of Thrones, this is where George R. R. Martin's getting a lot of his content. And this is where even Tolkien was getting some of his content. Exiled kings and all that stuff. Of a bloodline, it's pure and they had to remain hidden, Aragorn. Okay. It's pretty cool. It's epic. That's right, brother. Brother William the Conqueror was awesome. Okay, so as we wait for Bitcoin maybe to ascend a little bit more, about 2% to see 28,800, maybe I'll just recharge with some coffee, maybe keep it going. 1 for yes, 2 for no, just end the stream and see you tomorrow. 1 will be yes, get coffee and continue, because I got to get some fuel, man. Dang, man, what's that saxophone? It's a lot of 1s, no 2s. Okay, time for coffee then. Guess I'll be right back. Stick around, don't leave, man. What are you doing? Oh, he's getting coffee to try to stay live longer. I've been live almost 2 hours now. I'm trying to stay live longer, so stick around. We'll see what Bitcoin can do. I'll be right back. Hit that like button, that bell, that sub, join the Discord. All right, be right back.
Bruh.
All right. And I'm back. Welcome. Thanks for sticking around. Some of y'all that did. You wouldn't find my graph odd, squeaky clean. What are you talking about? Look, man, this graph existed like this. Identified Wyckoff reaccumulation. And then it played out. It actually went up and hit a key inflection point and then reversed there. And it's fallen back inside of that Wyckoff reaccumulation range. And so, but like these lows though are getting put in are higher than the bottom of the range. Like the sellers can't even push the price to that level right now before a rally. And so even more reaccumulation could be going on after what I would think to be is a shakeout, fake out, shakeout. So the whole reason I went live was because banks were collapsing. If you're just tuning in or whatever, because it's been live 2 hours. The first, like the main event was First Republic Bank collapsing 50%, closing at its lowest level ever. It was a bear flag, right? Just awful. And will probably continue to zero. I mean, in time, you think. So, but then it was not just that. What really drove, this was the main driver of regional banks dumping, but this is the KRE, which is the regional banking ETF. Terrible. You know, it's up 1% after hours. Okay, cool, dude. But had its lowest daily candle close since November of 2020. So, right, remember this when this crash was happening, the Federal Reserve, remember last year in a 52-week period, cut about $1 trillion off the balance sheet, which is like nothing compared to how much is on their balance sheet. And once the crash happened, they reduced that amount by about half in a 2-week period. Right, infusing liquidity into the system to prevent further drawdown. And times gone by after that, the dust settled and no demand. And now, again, seeing its lowest lows, lower prices than you saw before. $500, $600 million, billion dollars, excuse me, $500 to $600 billion got put back on the Fed's balance sheet. Scary stuff, meaning like, oh, if that's their solution, it's clearly not working. What are they going to do? What's their next thing they can do? They can't. They'd have to print more money. Clearly. And if they don't keep hiking rates with this inflation, well, I think that's going to signal panic, and I think the market will crash, right? Because that's what happens historically. These big market crashes, right? I mean, like it's not. The prices draw down some, but like when the Fed stops raising rates or begins to cut rates, that is when you see the equities crash bad. Gold XAU spot price. That's the one. That's when you're looking for them. So you got to wonder how much further to fall. Regional banks, there's nothing here, I don't think, until 36.87. And it's just like, do you think, I mean, in 2016 and 17, do you think the market conditions for regional banks were better or worse than they are right now? I think way worse. Way, way worse. So why are we still much higher in price than there? I don't think that's going to last. Unless some sort of intervention occurs, and that still doesn't guarantee that this is going to pivot and rally and moon, man. It's just so bad, like hyper bearish, because like you show hidden bearish divergence with a higher low or a lower high, excuse me.
ZIL/USD.
What's up, Alex? Zilliqa? Wow, been a minute. Yeah, I guess we can look at Zilliqa. Old Zilliqa. Let's do it. Zil News? Oh, really? I mean, like, technically looks kind of garbage. It looks pretty terrible, man. I don't know, like, double topping. Look, I guess above 2.6 cents, you're fine like a fruit fly. That's your cutoff, man. You don't want to own Zilliqa below 2.6 cents. This is the ice line of ice lines, right? 2019, 2020. I do not want to, and the trend is awful, man. Long-term downtrend, double topping in a long-term downtrend. If I'm looking at this, I'd rather own Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, XRP than I would Zilliqa. Just saying, man. Just saying. RSI bearish divergence, I guess. I mean, right again, until it falls below 2.69 cents, it's above support resistance. But you break that, it could be going right back down to 1.5 cents again. History tells us that's exactly where you're headed. 1.5 cents. The trend is not. The trend is your friend, and the trend is still very bad, bearish. In February and April, it is confirmed that there are far less market participants involved with this S coin than in August of last year, June of last year. Confirmation, man. I don't know, just bad chart. Yeah, it's above the 200-day moving average. And maybe it pivots anytime and rallies. And if it does, it's only because Bitcoin rallied too. And it's just, you know, it's part of the S-Coin tide or S-Coin ship. And Bitcoin is the tide that rises. Visa reported 10% increase in usage. Yeah, man, because people can't pay with cash anymore, I guess. We have like record high credit card debt. Record high interest rate on credit card debt too, which is scary. But it's also why like crime is spiking in many places, and it doesn't help the governments are like decriminalizing crime, like theft, stealing. And if they get caught, they get put in jail and they're released the same day with little to no consequence, and then they just go out and do it again and again and again. And so what happens, I mean, like these people committing theft all over, in these poorly run areas like the governments, right? Municipalities, DAs, bought and paid for by George Soros. What happens is they steal. And then, these mega corporations, they close and shutter their stores at those locations. They take on tens of millions of dollars of losses. And what do? They raise the price of everything at all their other stores that are not getting robbed with impunity. And so who pays for it? Literally you, literally me, literally the taxpayers. The taxpayers and the consumers pay for all this stuff happening in places that we're not part of those communities. There's your ZIL, dude. No, insurance is bad, right? Because, insurance has been mooning. I know it's been going up nonstop, but the insurance company is like, imagine, like, a lot of insurance claims, all that. Like, they're having to pay for it, so their premiums go up. So, therefore, the insurance premiums go up on these mega corporation stores. You know what happens? It always gets pushed to you and me, the consumers, the law-abiding citizens. Less than half the people in America pay federal income tax. Less than half. It's like 48% or something pay taxes. And the top like 10% pay like almost all of that, like 90% of it. It's crazy, dude. Or like 80, 70%, then 30% for everyone else. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, not much movement right now, or like new movement on these. Again, like we're in this different little spot right now with Bitcoin dominance where, hey, just because when Bitcoin rallies, the altcoins aren't necessarily going to be like also pivoting to and rallying substantially. Yeah, that's right. Everything's locked up in Target in San Francisco. And you imagine, Wayne Batson, how many millions of dollars did it cost Target corporate to implement that at that store? Again, everything's going to be behind those glass doors, or not glass, the plexiglass that can't be like just broken, probably bulletproof, right? Everything behind there is going to be substantially more expensive. Everything gets put on you. And this is this administration, right? Hey, if you have good credit score, you're going to pay a 1% premium, and then everyone that have, low credit score that are risky, they're going to get compensated by the people with good credit scores. That's the same type of stuff going on. Like, if you do the right things, you're penalized in this current clown world we live in. I'm saying, like, all of it's just so bad, man. It's just unraveling. Yep, depravity completely is being rewarded here, okay? The most weird, bad stuff you could do is being encouraged by institutions, whether it's Hollywood. I mean, the culture, right? The culture has just collapsed. We have a cultural collapse, right? One side won, the progressive side won, and now it's just complete depravity. Sodom Gomorrah stuff, dude. Interesting. Man, you gotta wonder here. Something like H-bar, just one of these S coins that just couldn't do anything, man. But look, it's crazy. It's right back at this key inflection point, the 200-day moving average. You wonder, like, will this hold? Will this hold, chat? Big ifs, man. It's not almost. It literally is. Because when you destroy, this is how you destroy society, something that was working, that had been built by people for generations. This is how you destroy it. It's like they're going, like, you couldn't do it any better than what's currently happening with people that are in charge of everything right now. Like, they're doing it the most efficient and best way possible. And to not believe that, I mean, you're out of your mind. You get your head in the sand, or you're delusional, or you're indoctrinated in a cult. Yep. And, after the earnings, you still have them holding on. I mean, Google's kind of like losing them. Look what happened to Google 5, 10, 15, 25 minutes ago. Google went right back to the same price it was at. So this is what I'm saying. This was nothing. This was not there's not going to be a breakaway gap tomorrow. If there's even going to be a gap, it's going to get filled very soon, and it's nothing. This is like all this stuff happening just makes me just hold. You want to hold on to your Bitcoin, man. It just makes fundamentally. It just says it just takes the technicals out almost on Bitcoin. It's like I don't even care. Oh, give me a drawdown. I don't care. Buying more individual sovereignty, like all these people that have not just infiltrated and completely taken over and compromised society. They cannot access Bitcoin no matter what they do, no matter what laws they pass, because they're in control. They can't do anything. Like, they can't get it. So it's good news. There are some states in America that actually are pro Bitcoin completely and are anti central bank digital currencies because they know. And those are the places you probably want to live. Numbers go up. No, I've not heard that. But again, just I said someone to clip it next week. I said, clip it, dude. Next week, somebody will, or like these people will come out with some sort of insane new rule or law, or want to pass a law that is extremely vitriolic and doesn't make any sense. And it's like, where does this decision take us? Like, what kind of resolution comes from it? There's none. There's no resolution. It's just complete depravity. I don't know. I don't get it. It doesn't help anyone. It doesn't. What's up with the DXY? Oh, we look at it. DXY bullish and golden candle confirmed in an hour. Just the asset, the US dollar is just kind of range bound here. Above 102.24 is, I think, a breakout of sorts. Candle high closed from March 2020. Yeah, and from 2017, I think a couple more times in history, but that's it. It's just kind of one low and now a second low holding for now. And if you scale out, you can see that it's in the dead middle of this mega range, mega channel. Since 2009, been very well respected and regarded on the bottom and top. And so, like, if you're in the dead middle, I don't know, man. You've back tested the heart line as resistance as you've done before. So you might end up eventually seeing the bottom of the channel, which would be oversold conditions in an uptrend. So that's the right oversold, and then on the top end you have overbought, and it was unbelievable how well it played out, where it ran off the M shape. Cycle top on Bitcoin, double bottom, type 2 return, and then ran to that's exactly where it reversed, somehow at that supply line. So I can't be that surprised if it continues to draw down to see 95, because history tells us this is eventually what it does. So. Of course, Cody, yeah. DeSantis, and I know the legislators too are working on, if they haven't already passed it, to ban a central bank digital currency. Like, they won't be able to use it. Like, the government will have no power in Florida. And then there are other states that have right to mine Bitcoin. Like, you have the right to mine. So anyway, I think they should put like Bitcoin in the Constitution. That's just my opinion. And if not the federal, then states should put it in their state constitutions, because Bitcoin is the purest form of freedom. I think that since the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, it is the purest form of freedom that's ever existed. Okay. And it's backed by mathematics and algorithms and thousands of computers decentralized around the world. So I think it's like Bitcoin to the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America is like Chevrolets and apple pie, like that. It mixes so well, as Marie would say on Breaking Bad. That's just my opinion. Here's total. We didn't look at total, but like, as you can see, this old little range here, it's being defended. There are no lower lows. There's only a slightly higher low going on right now. And you'd think just another test of an attempted rally here could happen. It'd be nice. But yeah, you're at a point of course, a reversal happening here wouldn't be that surprising. Of course not. Of course, you're in the higher end of risk kind of up here, but nevertheless, local higher low. Wow. Niles, I think they're working on it. Okay, we're just at $28,240. Wow, just still extremely elevated. Like near the highs of the day. Multi-day highs on Bitcoin. Same with total. You're just up there, man. Yeah, Google coming back down. Saying, well, these were... Microsoft isn't though. Microsoft is continuing to rally after hours. It just hit its highest high of the after hours trading session. And Google's continuously drawing down, and it'll be flat. It'll probably by the end of it be... It's up like less than $2 from its close. So that is nothing. Anyone got anything to say? I don't know, man. These streams get extended like this, you know. It's normally better when chat actually talks. When chat chats, you know. Otherwise, it just gets harder to extend the stream. Big one's at its highest highs, too. So I don't even know why that F you're not typing. 28,280 right there. Highest highs. All day. BNB on mega breakout watch. Heading on back to 348 by the looks of it. After only putting in another higher low. Don't know how you couldn't be getting hyped on that. Jeez. Yeah. No big deal, man. Just a good old-fashioned pump out of nowhere. $337 here, almost leet. What's up, Nick?
I would type more, but still at work and listening to you in meetings at the same time.
Is that a joke?
Thank you, Derek, for the 420. Well, keep working, man. I don't know. I feel like there would be... everyone's working and stuff. I feel like there'd be enough people to, like, at least say something. J. Kim, yeah, you did. You don't have notifications turned on Discord, because I certainly pinged. So that's on you, dude. You gotta have your Discord notifications on, man. What was that? Oh, yeah. PayPal. Man, BNB, highs of the day, up almost 2%. Moon soon, behavior, legit. PayPal, I mean, this is devastating. I mean, yeah, it's up 0.79% today, but this is bad, man. Very, very bad. So, yeah, nice how it double bottomed, but what was that? What happened after it confirmed a bottom and rallied off an ice line? A lower high than the previous high, and now what? These are all substantially lower high. It's awful. It's just people just, it looks like maybe Composite Man's just still offloading his PayPal, even at an area where you should be rallying. You got to know how scary these levels are. I mean, yeah, you go down to 67.55 and hold again. I don't think so. The context is terrible. So you put in a low, then you put in the exact same low, maybe even slightly lower low, and then you rally to put in a lower high, and then you sell off and you're holding, trying to make a higher low than the previous low, but now it's clear that these are all lower highs. So it's like a descending triangle type behavior going on. I mean, even if it's not a formal one, this is very bad. And look at the downside potential below 67.55. It's a straight line up. There's an unfilled gap at $45. Could you imagine PayPal losing half its value from here? This is so bare. Look at the 200. Awful, man. This time, after holding, there's such little demand that market participants are unable to even push the price to test and fail to break or touch, right, the 200 moving average, failing to break $82. That shows how little demand there is on this asset. It's bad, man. Like, this could end up turning into Carnage, Part 2, Boogaloo, whatever, down there. Yeah, it's bad, man. It's really, really bad. 28,300 plus on Bitcoin. Let's go, dude. All I need to do is 28.8. And it'll be a formal test. So there you go, man, Nick. This is getting really ugly. Really, really ugly here. And yeah, the way it's holding on to the support, that's like, who cares? Like, if the context is so abysmal where you know whoever still owns this asset, there keeps being less of them than before, nonstop. And the signs of weakness now are just, look at this. It's the lowest daily candle close on PayPal since December 30th of last year. Lowest close of 2023. That is stupidly bearish after all this March 6th, March 22nd, and April 18th. All three. Those are buyers trying. Yeah, I mean, people are not thinking here. Like, there's psychology of buyers and sellers, and that is the context. Like, these buyers are coming in thrice, all rivaling the same highs. There's too much supply, man. Far too much supply out there. Orders of PayPal for sale than there is demand for the asset itself, and this is the price action you're receiving. So, jeez. All right, Bitcoin 28,355 climbing still. Let's go, dudes. Just a subtle high or low. Any coin pumping? Bitcoin, man. BNB. I mean, you got Litecoin's 3.5% up. I mean, GRT's up 4.2%. Who cares, man? They're just, they're altcoins catching bids because Bitcoin caught bids, man. Not really that big a deal. Yeah, money supply decreasing. Yup. Which is normally bad for Bitcoin, but the context here is very nice. Okay, Microsoft right now is at its highs after hours. You're gonna look, here it is. Bottom left, Microsoft. Just at 296.50, and then Google has just been kind of bleeding out. And here was the close, 103.81-ish. And then Chipotle in the top right just killed it, man. Just mooned and is just hanging out up there. Look at 297 on Microsoft, continuing to climb here. And really it's gonna help out the index funds tomorrow, or at least the Qs and the Nasdaq somewhat.
Hey Mitch, can you take a look at CELO? Thanks.
So Marco, thanks for the 2621. Yeah, look at CELO on the crypto. Yep, the crypto. That is just like, really, man. I just. You know, how I had it before, maybe and then it breaks down and it's like, okay, cool. Look what it's doing. Look at the price. I mean, yeah, trying to one low, second low, maybe a higher low. But look what's happening. Like this old low, this ice line from June of last year, Black Saturday low. 3 different times failing. Like, why? This is all-time lows, right? I mean, I guess. Yeah, all-time lows on CELO down here in November, and you're not very far off of that. This is not a bullish stuff. This is not like how a bullish chart looks and correlates to levels. Yeah, keep making higher lows. Maybe you'll break it one day for real. I don't know. I look at something like this and I'm like, why? I'm moving on. I'm hitting the space bar and I'm going to the next asset. And I don't give a crap what happens to this thing. Don't care. Because they're just far superior assets that exist out there. I'd rather all day put my money in Bitcoin over CELO. Remember, the SEC waged war on crypto, and the avenues to put money into crypto dwindles every day. So why, there's 18,000 loser S coins. This is one of them. Yes, CELO is a massive loser. Developers didn't do crap. It's not helping the world, changing the world. It doesn't make money, and even if it did make money, it doesn't have to prove it makes money. It's a beanie baby. It's an actual beanie baby. Like almost all of them are. They provide no value to the world. They shouldn't even exist. But hey, someone created a crypto and got rich off of it. My turn. I'm gonna make CELO. And let's say it does something so people believe us, whatever, so we can market it. Okay, let's market this thing. And that's how most of these cryptos exists. That's the Genesis story. Whoa, man, someone got rich. I'm going to make a crypto and get rich too. And then you get charts that look like this. Loser. Thanks for the contribution, man. I appreciate it. Despite how big of a loser this is. If it rallies from here, congratulations. It doesn't mean anything. Wow, it rallied because Bitcoin rallied or something. That's the only way it rallies. And even when Bitcoin rallies, Bitcoin dominance says it doesn't matter. Bitcoin's going to run circles around Cello and percentage gained performance. Okay. Screw this asset. Who even cares about it? Even above 73 cents? I don't care. Because there are just way better assets out there. They have better technical arguments, and I can strategize an entry, stop loss, take profits. Okay, cool, dude. 28,350 near the highs of the day, and heading on up to 28.8 to test it again. Will we breach it? The problem is like 28.8, 30K, 31K. They're all resistance points, so it's like there's a lot of turbulence out there. You got to break that. If you break those three levels, it's gone, dude. 40K. Wow, Microsoft just hit $302, chat. Whew. Pushing that S&P futures up to 302 right there. Closed out at 275. Wow, over $25. Yeah, money is no longer cheap. So you have like, it's not cheap. Debt is not cheap anymore. And the SEC's waged war on crypto exchanges. So therefore, it's like this double thing where it's like, wow, man, good luck. Good luck on your loser S coins. S coin number 13,422. People don't care about that loser S coin, especially now. More than ever, they don't care. But hey, Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, XRP, let's go, dude. You're solid. I think you're okay.
Rising 5 methods on Bitcoin 12-hour chart. Lol hype clinking coffee mugs. 250.000000000 Doge.
Wow, thanks for the Doge, much wow. Thanks for the $20, man. 250 Doge. Wow, man. Retirement Doge, dude. Thank you. Bitcoin 12-hour. Rising 5 methods. What? The 12-hour Rising 5 methods. I guess, man. Technically, he's got a point. Sure did. Yeah, just pathetic. I mean, like, look at that. That is pathetic selling from, right? That is just, there's not enough sellers of Bitcoin to do much of anything. Like, I think if it was a serious sell-off, we would be at or below 26.7. The Wyckoff reaccumulation, the bottom of that range, and we didn't even touch it. Have I set up my Doge retirement account? Yeah, dude. Totally, man. Yeah, you can thank Microsoft for that too. But again, it's fine. I just don't think it's not going to be a breakaway gap. Microsoft being up 4, 5, 6%, that's not a breakaway. Therefore, it's going to fill most likely. Not that I'm getting bullish again. It's just what's happening fundamentally on top of Bitcoin just this month hit its highest price of 2023, highest price in almost a year, and then the sell-off on the bearish divergence on the daily occurred. And that sell-off manifested into a slightly subtle, very quiet, sneaky, higher low than the previous lows. And this is exactly the type of behavior Bitcoin showed when it in 2020 during Wyckoff reaccumulation. Looking back, again, I'll just, since I've been live for 2 hours and 30 minutes or so, where are we here? What the? Right here, the same type of behavior where you showed the Wyckoff reaccumulation, it was identified properly, you broke out, and then you like measure move, hit nice levels, right? And then a throwback, and then yes, of course, this level was back tested as support, but it also drew down 10% more this time in 2020 than it has recently done. And instead of back testing the breakout, it just really sold off to hit somewhere down here and is attempting to rally. And so I think it's still valid of reaccumulation if wherever the low is, if it's higher than these lows, the bottom of the range. So still valid. And this is a valid idea until Bitcoin falls below the bottom of the trading range, which would be $26,700, $26,600. That's it for now. Okay, we got 1 hour, 47 minutes till your daily candle close. If you're enjoying the live stream, hit the like button, the bell, the sub. Thanks for being here. And Ethereum dominance, just look at the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. It's Wyckoff distribution, man. Meaning like in time, Bitcoin will outperform the crap out of Ethereum. There were no more requests. That was it, man. Requests are gone. All right, well, I guess I'll just leave. How much going on? You know, 28.8 is upon us. That's the next resistance. I mean, like, why would it not hit that? Why would the buyers not push the price to just see if, you know, if there's enough supply to make a reversal happen, a formal back test of 28.8 before collapsing later? You know, we'll see. But been good today. So be sure to join the Discord if you haven't. I know, like, say throughout the stream, join it. We got like nearly 15,000 members. It is extremely active community where we just pay homage to traditional technical analysis that's been studied over 100 years. I mean, that's a good place to be, right? We also really, really pay homage and respect risk management, position sizing, not over leveraging, not thinking with emotions, right? All that stuff, right? Being a robot, trading in the zone, centric community by Mark Douglas. Read it if you haven't. It's probably the first thing you want to do if you join our community. Go read or listen to Mark Douglas's Trading in the Zone on YouTube. It's an audio book. You can go do that. It's free, man. It didn't cost you anything. Go listen to that whole thing and come back to me. And don't tell me you won't rethink on how trading is done. If we break 30K, I'll be back tonight. Sure. If we're breaking 30K, I'll be back tonight. Sure. That's a tall order, man, right? For Bitcoin, not me. I'll gladly do that. Probably even before that, but yeah. So thanks for coming out. I appreciate the likes, love, support, contributions, all of it. See the new people joining the Discord. Thank y'all so much. All the discussions normally done in the general chat. So respect the TA is just like for members joining, charts posted and all that. So a little less traffic and respect the TA chat. So I will just be back. God bless Bitcoin as the banks unravel. Until next time, respect the TA.